Hey, it's time for another episode of the Graybeard Gaming Podcast. I'm Scott. This is David. This is Liam. And this week we're going over Summer of Games, which is aka E3. Most notably Sony and Xbox's upcoming presentations. But first, we talk about what we've been playing this week. And this week we're going to start with Liam and find out what he's been playing this week. So Liam, what have you been playing this week?
Not a lot actually this week. I haven't been feeling too good, so yeah, not really been up to much on this week.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
I don't know about you, but sometimes you think, oh, I have a lot of stuff to do, and then the week goes by, it's like, oh, okay, I guess I didn't do much. So, sometimes it goes quick. It's like,
yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, I haven't actually done much this week, to be honest. I was out as well, so yeah, haven't had a lot of time to game.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, it's good to take a break and recharge and stuff. But that's cool.
You have a life after all.
Yeah, I mean, it's
yeah.
You can get out and touch grass. It's okay. We won't judge you.
Yeah, I know. I went outside.
I know, right? You look like a tinge tanner. You did last week.
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah.
Either that or you got a light bulb going out. All right, David, what have you been playing this week?
Well, I'm still very much hooked on Minecraft, but I had the brother-in-law and his girlfriend come by this weekend, and we wanted to get back on some kind of party game, and Gina recommended Minecraft Dungeons instead of the actual Minecraft.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, sure, we could play. We throw it on, and they're like, Gina's like, wait a minute, your character's like level 47. I was like, I guess we were really hooked on this game for a while. So my character was like,
wow.
Yeah. So I guess I sunk a couple hours into this game. So but everybody was starting from 1. So they were like, no, you can't start at 47 and everybody start at 1. That's cheating. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll start at 1. So they all got really hooked on it. They really, really liked it. They thought it was really, really cool. I got hooked on it. Thought it was really, really good. But I noticed they have Battle Pass now. They have like a,
Oh, really?
And I was kind of like, boo. Yeah, I was like, boo. Yeah, I was kind of like, you guys. On one hand, I was like, why would you guys go this route? But then I was thinking in my head, I was like, of course they would go this route. Why would I? Why would I? Yeah, like this is the world, the way the world works now. Like there's the Battle Pass. So yeah, but no, we had a really good time, and I forget how good of a party game that is. There's no split screen. Everybody sees their character. Everybody's running around and just hacking at it, and we decided we weren't gonna be wimps and play it on normal. We played it on hard at every level, and yeah, we were getting our asses handed to us a couple times, and yeah, it was fun. It was a good fun little experience, So
this is like everybody's watching the same TV with all their characters on the same TV.
Yeah. I would say though, it's probably better if everybody had their own screen, obviously, because because there's times when we're trying to get, one of us is getting out of frame a little bit, and we're like, you need to catch up. You need to get, whereas I'm sure if you're playing by yourself and you have your own screen, you can stray away from the party and kind of not, the camera won't, try to stay on you. No, it was, it was fun. It was cool. And they were getting hooked on it. They were, you know what? It's funny because I didn't even realize this, but her brother is a huge World of Warcraft fan. Like he still does raids. He's on doing raids with people on every Tuesday and Thursday or something. He's doing raids, and this is a very top-down World of Warcraft type view.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like loving it, and I was like, I didn't realize it. Like this is your type of game. I don't know why I've been trying to get you to play survival games with me. This is the game that you should be playing with me.
Mm-hmm.
So he was totally into it. He was like, we got to get organized. Come on. He's like, I'm about to heal. Everybody come to me. I'm going to heal. You know, he was like doing like tricks.
He's the vet. Yeah.
And yeah. He was like reading off all the whatever the swords do and the shields. Oh, that gives you +3 enchantment. You should be using that, man. Like, what are you doing? And we're like, okay, cool. I'll use it. You know, level that up, dude. And I'm like, okay. So he was really getting into it. We were having a good time. So I might go back to that tonight. Yeah. It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. I used to be hooked on that game as well. So yeah.
They did a good job with it. You know, they could have easily screwed it up. You know, they could have made a Minecraft game, a Minecraft spin-off game, and been like, it's Minecraft, it's going to make money. But they actually made a pretty decent game.
Very decent game it was, yeah. I know it had DLC, but I didn't know it had battle passes now. That's weird.
It's actually
I didn't expect that game to be like a live service sort of thing.
It said like season 3. So I guess...
Well, that would be a live service, right?
Barely. Yeah. It's fairly recent.
I guess so. So maybe I did something. I don't know.
The battle pass.
When I played it,
the battle pass had emotes. It had emotes. It had weapons. It had character skins. You know, it's a typical usual. Usual like this doesn't matter, but you want it anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like. So. But yeah.
Man, that's just I don't know. It's just kind of blowing my mind. It's like people sitting on a couch and playing, you know, a role playing game all together on the same TV. That just like, you know, when do we do that anymore? It's just
we don't have that anymore.
I kind of feel like that kind of game is sort of in its rarity. You know what I mean? Like how often are they making games like? Even like I said, even the one we tried to play a couple weeks ago where it was like Pac-Man, and it totally looked like a party game, Pac-Man game, where everybody's in the same room and everybody's playing it, and we open it up and it just was not that. And it's like, why don't people do this more? Why don't people have party games where everybody's in the room and everybody sees the same screen? It's not split screen. Everybody sees the same screen. Everybody's having a good time.
Seems like just gaming's gone past that. You know, it's not, you know, it's not like, hey, so-and-so got a ColecoVision. Let's go over there and check it out. You know, it's everybody has their own format and everything's, you know, cross-play. So it's...
We went online and especially when we had COVID as well. Like everyone was stuck at home. They couldn't actually go around anybody else's.
Yeah.
So, of course, everyone went, oh, yeah, we'll just play online. And they really push online, like, I don't know. It feels strange to be like, "Hey, I want to go around somebody's house to play games."
Right. Isn't that weird?
Alien now, it feels so strange to. But that's literally how we grew up.
Hey, I'm coming over to play a game. You are? Why?
Like, wait a minute. What kind of game?
Wait, to my house?
Right.
You're gonna to my house? You're coming over? Like,
And bring
I gotta ask my wife.
Right.
If you can come over.
That's probably why. Because instead of asking your mom, it's like, I've got to ask my wife.
Can Timmy come over and play some Halo?
I'm like, can he come over? Say no.
Right. It's like, dude, you got your own TV and your own internet.
Yeah.
Last game I played like that was Castle Crashers. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Wait,
is that a Flash game?
No, it looks like it almost.
Right, it looks like it. Right?
It was on 360, and I got invited to a friend of mine said, "Hey, come over playing." It was just like that. It was like, "Hey, we're playing Castle Crashers. Come over, bring your controller." I'm like, "Okay." I went over there, took 6-pack of beer, and I think we finished the game. I know we finished the 6-pack, but that's the last time I got to do anything like that. And I always think about that when Halo 5 came out and it didn't have split screen, everybody was like freaking out.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Like, how many people are still playing split screen? And how many
Halo parties was a thing, yeah.
Well, it was, but it was when that was your only option, you know.
Right.
Right. I mean, it was great to have like LAN parties and stuff, but And people still do that. I see on Reddit all the time people like, bring your 360 or your original Xbox and we're going to have a LAN party and play Halo all night, Mm-hmm. And it's a bunch of like 30, 40-year-old men like sitting there in a chair going, I mean, it's got to be a blast. But at the same time, it's like you bring your TV, you bring your Xbox, and everybody's on a LAN. There's nobody split screening it. Even when you do that, when my wife and I moved in together, I was playing a lot of Gears of War at the time. And of course she was like, well, what is that? That looks crazy. I'm like, it's Gears of War. You want to play? And with that, it's like you just hand a controller and pop in and,
right.
She's like, great. So we played through the first one split screen. And I was like, this is kind of silly. We have another Xbox in the bedroom, and I have a monitor. So what I did is I went and got the other. I was like, did you like that game? She's like, yeah. I'm like, there's a 2. She's like, really? I'm like, yeah. So I went to GameStop, got an extra copy. I came back. I set up another like right there on the couch on the coffee table, and we played it split screen. We didn't play it split screen. We played it on each individual, Xbox.
Yeah.
And we got done, with that. After a couple of days, I was like, "There's a 3." So on and so on. But even having the opportunity or the necessity to play split screen, the experience was way better. Even being in the same room, it was way better having your own screen and your own, console to play on. It's just way better. And we've been doing it that way ever since. So anyway, cool. Minecraft Dungeons, huh? I might have to check that out again. I know I played that when it came out.
Yeah.
Is Diablo 4 like? Can you play that on Xbox and PlayStation with multiple controllers and people on the screen, or is it a shared screen?
I see why you would.
I don't know.
I don't know because it says we don't share.
I wouldn't think so because you have to log in with your account. Yeah, I don't see how that would work.
It's much more online based as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well, turds. Okay, well I'm gonna get into what I've been playing, but I'm gonna I'm gonna talk more about what I've not been playing, and why I've been playing what I've been playing. So it's gonna kind of turn into a discussion. I've been playing Tainted Grail: Fall of Avalon, and I like this game. I streamed it last night, and I quit a little bit early because I was just getting a little frustrated with the environment. Like the environment's interesting, but none of it makes any sense. So walking around in it reminds me of Elden Ring. Have you guys both played Elden Ring?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like here's a fallen building that has no concept of where it was attached to or what it was doing there. It's just fallen over. And then over here is a giant castle, but it doesn't nothing connects and nothing. It's just there for you to kill monsters in, and it does a much better job But Tainted Grail, I got to where it just didn't feel like I wanted to spend a lot of time in that world, and I'm sure you can understand that. Especially when I'm playing Oblivion, and it is so much better. The world itself is just so much better. I mean, when you go into a town, there's things you can do in a town, and there's side quests you can do, and there's not everybody's trying to kill you, and people aren't just standing there waiting for you to come up and talk to you. It feels more like a living, breathing world, and it's so I think it's just spoiled me from playing Tainted Grail. I think that's what's happened, and that's just unfortunate. But that's kind of what's happening. But I've also been playing Dead Space 2 on Steam. Yeah, and I know I've talked about Dead Space before, like the remake. I thought it was excellent. I was really hoping they were going to make another one. They did a fantastic job on that. But it got me thinking, okay, so I'm playing Oblivion. I'm playing Dead Space 2. Recently, I finished all of Dishonored and Dishonored DLC. We're getting Space Marines next week, right?
Yeah, just over a week, I think.
A little bit over a week and a half, something like that.
That soon, really?
Yeah, it's
like June 10th or 11th.
Yeah, so, So not this week, but next week. Next week we'll get and we got a Gears of War like Reloaded or whatever coming out in a couple of months
in August.
Yeah. What's the correlation of all these games? Like what are these games that what's their connection? Their connection
all like
becomes new.
All old remastered.
well, it's not just that. They're all like 360 PS3 era games.
Yeah, like the same time frame.
Yeah. Could it be that time frame is just better games?
I mean, that is a lot of sentiment for a lot of people, because I think that's probably where a lot of gamers probably found themselves like to be in as well. Like 360, what did I say, like 80 million on PS3?
Both sold really well.
But both sold like really well. That held a lot of nostalgia, a lot of just people playing online, and obviously games were finished. No microtransactions, there were microtransactions, but no battle passes, no seasons, no.
Yeah, it's just you get the game and you play it.
Just a lot. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
We do sort of miss that simpler time when games were just done like that.
Yeah, I don't think it's. I think it's kind of that, but I also think that the games are just better. And I'm not trying to sound like that old dude's like, when I was a kid, we didn't have this. No, I mean, I'm playing Dead Space 2, and I'm playing it on PC, and there's no remaster. This is the executable from, the mid 2000s. This is the game, same thing with Dishonored. There's no patch. There's no, remaster. It's just the game. They play great. They look great. And they're fun to play, and they're engaging. And I think that, with this upcoming like Gears Reloaded and the upcoming Space Marine, next week, that is also a 360 PS3 era game. Somebody gets it, man. Somebody is getting that these games can be redone and maybe even reinvigorate that franchise just by remaking a game here and there or whatever. Somebody's getting it. Somebody's understanding it, and it's obviously paying off. Oblivion has sold more, like what, since it's been out, since the first one has been, like a whole year. And
Oblivion was definitely like a good move to do, because
absolutely.
That doesn't just bring old fans back. It brings in an entire new generation to it, because a lot of people just played Skyrim or just played later games. What was it, 2006?
Came out in 2006, March 2006, on a Monday of all days. Is really weird.
So we've got an entire generation who didn't even know Oblivion.
Yeah, so they got a new Elder Scrolls game. Yeah. Like boom, there you go.
They got a new game. Yeah, and I think it's from like 360 PS3 days. It was a lot quicker to make games as well.
Well,
it didn't because 7, 8 years to make a game, and we're just waiting for a new entry.
Think about this. Yeah, think about this for a second. Okay, it's just Bethesda as an example. Okay, on the 360, we had Fallout 3, Oblivion, and Skyrim. All three of those games came out on the 360. Shit.
Yeah.
That's just kind of an indication of where these studios were at the time. But my point is that a lot of these people are getting it. There's one entity that doesn't seem to be getting it, and that is Sony. Sony, now, they keep remaking The Last of Us. Okay, I get it. They keep remaking. But they also did that with Demon's Souls. And how many... I should have looked it up, but I thought Demon's Souls sold really well, and that is a remake of a PS3 era game. Why don't they do more of these? I mean, seriously, if you ask anybody that played in that era and said something about Killzone, all of them are saying, "Oh man, I'd love to have another Killzone." Why are they not handing that off to one of their studios and say remake Killzone? Don't give it to Guerrilla, because I mean, they're not doing that anymore. They've already said that they don't want to do guns and violence. Okay. So give that franchise to a studio. What about Infamous?
Yeah, Infamous was left on PS4. I don't know. I can't bring that back.
I mean, they did Second Son. That was like I think a release title. I think it was a release title or close to it.
Yeah.
And then dropped off. That was it. I think them making The Last of Us kind of screwed up Sony as far as, hey, we made this great game and it's selling buttloads, so let's just bank on that, for like the next 10 years. But yeah, I wish Sony would do what everybody else is doing and remake some of these older titles, not keep remaking The Last of Us. I don't want another version of Uncharted. I want something reach back in the back of the drawer and bring something, have Killzone, bring out Killzone and put it on everything. Put it on PC, put it on Xbox, put it on Switch too, and have it cross-play on multiplayer. You don't have to like compete with Call of Duty. Just do something different with it. Have an extraction mode or have it a battle royale mode or something. It's not. I know it's not easy to do, but there's a lot of people there that would jump on if you gave it to a studio and said just reboot Killzone, just reboot it from start. You got two competing planets fighting over resources. Hell yeah, that would if they did that right now. If they have been working on that and they talk about that in the next couple of days with their state of play, whenever it is. And I don't know why they don't announce this shit. That's so fucking stupid. Oh, we're gonna keep it secret till a couple of days. That is, you're a child. Goddamn. So just announce that and have that in the barrel. That would be fantastic. But they don't get it. So I am really enjoying some games, and I'm realizing that are actual older games. And it's not because I don't think the new games are not good, but I'm with Liam. I kind of get tired of like, okay, I got this brand new game. Oh, I need to make an account. Oh, so I can create a character, and because I'm on a persistent server, so that all of my transactions go to that. Just to play a game, and not even if you even like it or not. So yeah.
Yeah.
What's that?
No, I was gonna say, like you mentioned before, like you were saying, I don't want to sound like this old guy, this old gaming boomer, But I think the real truth is that in that early 2000s period, we had a gaming renaissance. And I think a lot of people, right? I don't think a lot of people look at it like that. I think they just look at it like, oh, we just had a couple of really good games like Halo, huh? But it's like, no. We were like sitting on, a couch, somebody fanning us and feeding us grapes. Renaissance period of video games.
Absolutely.
And like you said, like we just talked about, like, there were plenty of moments where we had these core memories built into us of friends coming over and playing with us, and that feeling of connection, doing this thing like no other time before.
Right.
And I think that maybe what's happening is our technology right now has reached some kind of a peak where people are maybe game developers are getting too caught up in, we need to make this look amazing to catch people's eyes. And it's like, it wasn't really like that in the past. In the past, it was like, we want to make something that's just like very interesting storytelling and have the game play really well. Like if you ever look at some really indie games that sort of just hit it, like, man, they just hit it. Something in it just hit it. They oftentimes bear the mark of something that was played in the early 2000s, like Helldivers or Warhammer. These games have some kind of quality about them that that you feel the same that you did when it was back in the early 2000s, or the game is really popular because it has some really kind of novelty, fun little thing about it. Like Schedule 1 sort of comes to mind. Like it got really, really popular.
Yeah, Valheim. Yeah.
Right. It just has something in it that just kind of grabs you. It's not a early 2000s Gears of War type feeling, but it's more of something that its core gaming function of it
is
sort of grabs
it is
you.
It's gameplay rules, and that's
right,
that's what it comes
and
down to.
I think that's what hits now, and that's great, but it's not the same as that. Man, this game is just so epic, and you share it with people, feeling of that Renaissance period in the 2000s. So, if anybody calls you, he's just an old man bitching, they don't understand what we went through in the early 2000s. They just don't have that.
You had to be there, man.
You had to be there, man. Like we were at Woodstock, man. People were passing joints, man. You don't know.
Well, it's these aren't like movies. You can watch, like, if say you were born in 2004, then say 2007 up would be like your movie experience, right? But those movies could have been from anywhere. It could have been a movie from 1930, or it could have been, So it's not really relevant. It's like, oh, I only had these movies from like the early No, games are different. Like if you grew up with a 360, you didn't have anything previous. Like later, if you bought an Xbox One or Series X, you got all these original games and 360 games that you can now play. But you wouldn't have had the same journey that we had. Building up to getting to the 360, like dealing with everything, before that, even especially on like PC, like every game that came out on PC for like a decade was like pushing the envelope. Like everything was just like pushing. So if you got in at any given time, you would be like, wow, this is amazing. And every game after that would be similar but a little better, but you don't know anything about what's behind you. So I love the fact that people have picked up Oblivion and are experiencing it, even though the jank is still there, and really enjoying it. Obviously it's selling really well and it's good, and I think it's great. And I think that maybe if we keep doing this, it's not like we need to remake every game from that period, but I think if they sell enough of games that they do, then they'll get the fact that we don't want every game to be to have crafting / leveling up / cosmetic store / whatever. It's just, we just want a fun game. Did anybody play? Did you guys play Ghost Recon prior to Ghost Recon Wildlands?
No, I don't actually play those games.
None of them? Okay. Well, Ghost Recon 2, which came out on the original Xbox, it was right before the 360 came out. I played that with two other guys all the time. This was like my Ghost Recon crew. And we would just play through the campaign. That was it. That's all you had. Right. What mission you want to do? Let's do the mission, but let's do it on harder and this and that. It's like, okay, so we do the mission. Then when, what's the one for 360? Ghost Recon, I forget. But when it came out on 360, it looked amazing. And again, you had missions you could play. You could set up your own, you can kind of customize your experience. There was no leveling. It wasn't like you just said, you're 47, you can't play with us, you're level 1. There wasn't any of that. You just went in and you just like, okay, let me get my loadout. I pick my weapons and then you go in and play it. We had so much fun doing that. And I think that it's, you can make games that are fun without having that constant engagement of leveling, getting more. The accomplishment of finishing the game sometimes is plenty, and I think maybe they'll get to that sooner or later. But before we move on, I also wanted to state I did play the Stellar Blade demo on PC, which is on Steam right now.
Okay.
And that game is fun as shit, man.
Really?
It was, I played a little bit. There was a demo on the PS5 when I did have a PS5. I played it, and I played it for a little bit. And I got really irritated because it was like, these cut scenes at the beginning, you can't skip them. And I'm like, God, that's melodramatic stuff. I'm like, I just didn't enjoy using the PS5 enough. Like, quit, turn it off, go back to, So when this came up, I was like, I'm going to try it again. So I did. I just took my time with it. And I forget that this is a Korean game and not a Japanese game. So when I play Japanese games like this, I feel like I know exactly what to expect. The exploration in it is like, oh, here's a big square area, and oh, there's a box over there, and oh, there's a box over there, and you found both. Oh, it's you've explored. You know what I mean? It was just like, it doesn't really. A lot of games don't put any thought at all into exploration. It just, oh, you killed all the enemies in this room. Now you can walk over and get your shit out of that box. This is actually, this has exploration. It has areas where you go, oh, there's something up there. I'm going to jump up there and get it. And then, oh, look, I found this little, hole that I can crawl under and get to another area. And it feels organic, feels natural, like the destruction of this town and everything. The combat is quick. It is, I would say it is similar to like a Dark Souls where you do have to parry and move, but it's like 200 miles an hour. So you're moving and jumping, and I mean it's very much a skeptical. I mean a spectacle. But it also, and I saw this when it came out. I saw this on Twitter a lot, where there's like, man, can you check out this thing I did in Stellar Blade, right? And it's like you jump up and you stab him in the face and roll over, and then this thing goes and the camera's like whooshing around, and I'm like, that looks like a cutscene, dude. And of course it is. It's absolutely like when you kill the monster and get that last, it goes into this whole animation of all this stuff, and I'm like, dude, you need to play some Halo, because when you see when you see something cool in Halo, I did that. That's not a cutscene, but it's really fun. I'm actually excited about this game. I will wait for a sale because I think it is $70 on PC. But when it goes on sale, I'll definitely pick it up because it is a blast.
Is it going to be a PC only game, or is it going to go to console?
No, it's on PS5 right now. It's been on PS5 okay. Came out last summer, I think. Yeah. So, and it plays great. No hiccups, no anything. I'm getting 1440p. It's great frame rate. It looks fantastic. Okay. So, an actual good PC port. So,
nice. I think the developers actually said they want like more multi-platform games as well. That they will do a second game.
Yeah, they're going to do a second game
as well. So
yeah, it might be on Xbox as well, and Switch too, and
they're like just be everywhere because it's not a deal with Sony, but yeah, they're quite happy to put it everywhere.
Yeah, so. a lot of journalists had a problem with this game, and I don't know why. I think it may be because it's fun. So yeah, they seem to have a problem with games that are fun. Just go read the preview of Arc Raiders on IGN, and you'll see what I mean. Yeah. So okay, so let's get into this, and this is going to be our E3 coverage between now and next week. Well, actually, next week it'll just kind of be kicking off, but it starts Friday. Summer of Games, Jeff Keighley's answer to E3. This is like the virtual E3. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to do is any predictions. Now, the predictions that I've got are specifically Xbox, because they're having theirs on Sunday. Their presentation on Sunday.
Yeah.
Again, Sony is like, we'll tell you when we're ready. Whatever. Just, but I don't really expect them to have a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's start with David. Do you have any predictions for this thing, or maybe not so much prediction, but what do you want to see?
I definitely want to see State of Decay 3 because I feel like we have such little stuff on that. Yeah. So I definitely want to see that. I'm kind of expecting to see Fable. Something from Fable. Mm-hmm. As far as like Sony goes, I'm thinking maybe Venom. They're gonna have something like a Venom game. Maybe something Metal Gear Solid. And then also I don't know why, but I keep hearing a lot of talk about Assassin's Creed Black Flag remaster.
Yeah, I've been hearing that for years, but
that's getting a remake. Yeah.
Is it? So have they confirmed that? I mean, is this before or after Ubisoft went in the financial toilet?
Yeah, I think that was before, but yeah, they did actually want to make a remake of it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm absolutely hoping. I'm also kind of hoping for something Subnautica related. I haven't heard jack shit from them.
Yeah, they did the trailer. It was last year this time they did the trailer, right?
Well, you know what I saw was Subnautica came out with the first game on mobile device, like a mobile version of the first Subnautica. And I saw a lot of people commenting saying, I don't want this. I mean, nobody asks for this. Like we're perfectly fine playing the game the way it is.
Yeah.
When you guys have phones.
Yeah. You got phones, right? You got phones. Nobody gives a shit. But well, I mean, I looked at that and I was this is dangerous. Like I have a job. Like I don't want to be sitting at my job.
Right.
Yeah. I'm addicted to your game. I love your game. Like now you're putting it on. I could play it wherever. Like I don't want that. Come on.
It's probably some other. It's going to be another developer that's probably porting it to phones.
Oh, so you think so?
Yeah, usually it is. Yeah,
I saw some video of it and it looked kind of shitty. To be honest with you, it looked like a really shit version of it.
It will probably be a watered down version. No pun intended. But you know what I mean. Like they were doing the same thing with Destiny. Like there's a studio that's making a Destiny for the phone.
Yeah.
And
but yeah. No, I was just gonna say I really want Subnautica too. That's really what I want.
A release date or something, right? Yeah.
Something.
Shadow Drop.
I feel like it's the same thing with State of Decay. It's like as much as I want something from those games, we got nothing. Like next to nothing.
Yeah.
And they've been in development for a really long time. This isn't like, oh, we just got an announcement that they're working on it last month. It's like, no, this has been a couple years now.
Yeah.
Like, I'd like to see something, So that's really what I'm looking for. I'm looking forward to, and I'm kind of the Fable thing. I'm kind of like, I'm almost expecting the Fable thing, and maybe another remaster of some kind.
Gears 2.
I thought, yeah, Gears. Somebody said New Vegas. So.
That is, the studio that did Oblivion. I don't think they're working on that too. But that would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be pretty awesome. But that would be a miracle, I think.
I think a lot of people are also saying something from Witcher, but I don't.
They're gonna have a Witcher 4 trailer. Another one.
So?
Yeah, they've said that they're going to show off something, but I doubt it's going to be gameplay. It'll probably be kind of a breakdown of the new features and stuff like that.
Yeah. But anyway, I said a lot, so.
No, that's cool. That's cool. Okay, cool. That's a good chunk. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Liam, what do you predict is going to happen?
Well, I did see there are some games already announced to be either announced or getting teased. Ubisoft seems to be teasing Splinter Cell.
Ah, yes.
Splinter Cell remake they're gonna do. Well, remake, reboot,
usually when they do something, it's like, Sam Fisher is in Rainbow Six, or
For Honor. He's going to be a playable character in Mortal Kombat. probably.
No.
That would be actually kind of cool,
right?
He just turns up on Call of Duty. Like, damn
it! His fatality is he just sneaks up behind you and just shoots you in the head, and that's it. Like
that's his only move, and it's unbeatable.
What did we joke about on the last podcast where we were like, shh,
yeah,
go see.
We know. That would be eerie. Anyway, okay, so Splinter Cell, I will keep my fingers crossed for that as well.
Yeah.
So I hope that I haven't messed that up because Ubisoft.
They'll mess it up.
IO Interactive are teasing their Bond game.
Yeah, they've announced the name.
I saw something about that.
Yeah, Light No Fire.
Yeah.
No, that's not it.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh, another one.
Yeah.
First Light, I think.
First Light. Yeah. That kind of makes me think it might be maybe like a young James Bond.
It is. It's going to be like a young James Bond, early sort of setting when he first starts out.
Man, is it going to be? I hope it's going to be like in the 60s. Probably not.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably not. But it's got nothing to do with the films. It's going to be like its own thing. You make. I don't know if you make. I don't know if you make your own Bond or if he's just like a preset guy. But he's not going to be like Daniel Craig or anything. So no actor. Just their own thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just really, really hope it's not Hitman with a skin.
Yeah, I am too. I kind of feel like that could go that way, but
because Hitman is kind of similar. So in the way he like has to take people out and things like that.
But, but Hitman's usually he's very robotic. And like as far as his character, he's just very I am now the ice cream man. Here's have some ice cream. James Bond has a lot more nuance and character to him.
You don't think they would make it very like a stealthy Uncharted?
Well,
or is that?
Yeah, but it's not always about stealth. It's more about the intrigue and it's more. Yeah. Did you guys play any like the early Liam? You probably didn't, but early 360 PS2. No, not 360. I'm sorry. Original Xbox and PS2 James Bond games that EA made. Nightfire.
I did. I definitely play them. They were amazing.
I loved those games. You had a watch with the laser on it, and it was they were both first person. The third one I think was third person, but they made one with Sean Connery in it. There's actually Sean Connery in it.
Sean Connery.
Shaken, not stirred. Give you a little spanking. Those were really fun, and it was like you would have part of the mission would be like, well, you just sneak into this lab and steal something, but then to get out, you're like on a hang glider with rockets dropping into a Porsche and with machine guns, and you know what I'm saying? It's like it's Hitman meets the Terminator kind of thing, and I hope that it's more like that. But good call. We'll probably see a trailer.
If it's like those classic games, I'm all for it.
Yes.
So I really loved those games. Obviously, we had like GoldenEye, which started off the whole James Bond thing. But I don't know if you played Everything or Nothing as a game.
I'm sure I did. I played all of them except for GoldenEye.
It was on like the original Xbox and PS2, where it played out like a James Bond film. The entire thing was its own plot, its own thing. Yep. It was like with Pierce Brosnan, I think it was. But so every mission was something else. Like you'd be going into like sneaking into this thing, and then you were driving against a train, and then you were doing this and doing that. But then it had this co-op mode as well. On top of that.
Really?
Where you could play
that.
You play like I'm pretty sure it's the same game. I did. Maybe it was another game, but I'm pretty sure it was that one. But we had this other like co-op mode where you basically be other agents, I don't know why, but it was just so fun because you sort of had to take out all these guards in everywhere. And at the end, there's this, the big guy with a boss, and he has this turret that you have to somehow get around. It was so cool, like just new cool pink spies. If they somehow hit that again, I'll be very happy on that one.
Yeah, those were. I had fun with all of those. Some were better than others. The Sean Connery one was more like nostalgic. But the earlier ones, there was like Nightfire, and there was the other one. I can't remember. They were both first person, and they were both super fun. Yeah, I hope they do a good job.
I played a lot of them. I played The World Is Not Enough. I think it was on PS1. So,
oh wow, yeah.
When I grew up, we all loved James Bond, so yeah, we had all the classic games.
Yeah,
they were a lot of fun, all of them.
Well, you have the James Bond accent right now.
Right. Shaken, not stirred.
Yeah.
Well, they're picking a new James Bond for the movie, so
yeah,
I'm wondering if maybe you're right. Maybe it would be kind of cool if you played this game as James Bond in first person and never seen no cutscene, like all the cutscenes are in first person. Like Half-Life. Like you see what I'm saying? It's like you never see yourself, so you just play you as James Bond. I don't know.
I think it's like a preset character, but it is just
I'm sure it
not
is.
from
Yeah.
the films.
Yeah.
So.
Right. Okay, so is that
else? We'll see. Obviously, with the Xbox show, we'll see Outer Worlds 2. That's like part of it.
Yeah, that's supposed to come out this year. So.
Yeah. I do wonder if we'll see Gears E-Day. So there's been a lot of rumor whether it's coming out this year.
No. There's no chance in hell.
I doubt it, but at the same time, that could actually kind of work if you had like Gears 1 in August. And you wouldn't need the whole trilogy straight away because E-Day is just before that. So that could work, but I don't know. So.
Well, here's a snippet. Okay, so the Coalition was working on two things as of 2022. They were working on a new IP, which I think they kind of hinted at when they showed their Unreal Engine 5 like demo kind of thing. It looked like more of a medieval melee combat game. And then they were working on Gear 6. But they had most of the full team working on this new IP. Okay, so what happened in 2000? Like right at the very first of 2023, Xbox started actually managing their studios and laying some people off and going through and what are you working on? What are you doing this? And Matt Booty went to the Coalition and there was a couple of sources that were like, he came in and was like, what are you doing? Like, where's Gears? And like, oh, we got this new IP. Like, no, cancel it immediately. Work on Gears. That was in 2023. That was 2 years ago. And they were working. They weren't working on E-Day at that time, supposedly. And this is all, hearsay. So here it is in 2024, and they announce E-Day with a Unreal Engine, cutscene, basically, trailer. This game, you're not going to see this game till 2027, at least. Again, I think it's going to probably be close to or launch with their new console if they make another console. I think it's so far out that we may not even see anything this weekend for E3. It'll probably be more about Reloaded or whatever if they show anything. So anyway,
I mean, Reloaded is just it just gives
Reloaded.
Ultimate Edition remastered. The thing is with Microsoft like announcing all these things before the showcase, it's like, what the hell is at the showcase? Because that would have been like crazy announcements at its showcase by default.
Right. What have they not? So, they haven't shown anything or released anything that's new. That is, that's like a new IP. That may be what they have the show for. I don't know. Plus, maybe. They're going to have a big Call of Duty thing, I'm sure, tied into that, or even, its own little thing afterwards. I don't know. And they'll probably announce the new Call of Duty set in ancient Egypt. No, I don't know. All right. So what else you got?
My brain just forgot all the IP that's meant to be there now. I'm sure they've got a ton of studios that are still working on stuff that we don't know about.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
I imagine there'll probably be Indiana Jones DLC there.
I hope so.
That should happen at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Would they tease anything Halo? I mean, not a new Halo, but a remake of Halo.
I'm going to say no. Again, this is something, 2023 was the big shakeup last year. They just showed that they had gone to Unreal Engine 5, and they hired some new people that are capable and familiar with Unreal Engine 5. So if they show anything, I don't know what they would be showing. I mean, they've already shown just again, Unreal Engine 5 demo of a chubby Master Chief, with the elite sword. I don't know. My prediction is they will not show. It will be a snippet, or it will be something to where it's this is what it looks like on Unreal Engine 5 or something. I don't know, but I kind of doubt it.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny how we don't have Halo anymore. In a way,
all these other games, nothing lasts forever.
Yeah,
Halo's just waiting. It's when do we come back again?
So mismanaged, so fucking mismanaged.
But yeah,
well,
so I don't know what else. I can't think of anything else. I know it's probably a lot of things that I've just forgot right now.
Okay, well, I got your back because I got some. Okay.
Yeah.
So
what do you got, Scott?
My first one was State of Decay 3. I think they're going to show State of Decay 3. I think they're going to show actual gameplay, probably how the game is going to work. Meaning, is it going to be a persistent world? Is it going to be procedurally generated? Is everybody going to be on the same server? What exactly? How are we going to be playing this game? And they're going to give a release window for this, which I think is probably going to be spring, February, March. Something like that. That's my prediction for State of Decay 3. Also, let's see. I did have a prediction for Gears of War, and it's basically that if they show anything, it's just going to be hey, this is what we've done with them. It's going to be one of those studio things like they did with Halo, where it's we're working on this new engine, and it's nobody gives a shit. Just when is the game's coming out? It's going to be something like that. They will announce a new Forza Horizon that will come out this holiday. It will be for Xbox, PC, PS5, and it will be set in either somewhere like France or possibly Madagascar or something like that.
Well, if we do get another Horizon, the whole community is screaming Japan. So,
okay, that would be good too. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I mean, they're all good. So I think we're going to see that. On the flip, I think we'll see at the Xbox show, and this is EA, but I think they're going to show Battlefield, the new Battlefield. It's supposedly coming out into this year. They're going to show it. They're going to have a trailer. They're going to have somebody come out and talk about their physics and talk about the destruction and all this kind of crap. And then it's going to be, they'll probably have a sign up for the open beta at, something in July. Because that's usually when they do a Battlefield, playthrough. They've been doing playthroughs with smaller teams of just individual people. Let me rephrase that. They've been getting people, like if you sign up for that, they've just been giving it to people that just want to play it and getting feedback on it.
Yeah.
Not so much, I'm sure they're giving it to YouTubers and stuff like that, influencers, but they're allowing other people, just people like me and you, and our viewers and listeners, a chance to play it and get their feedback on it, which I think is a really good sign, especially after 2042 was what the big WTF from the community and the fans. So I think we're actually going to see that at Xbox. I don't think it matters that Call of Duty is also going to be there. I think Battlefield is just it's its own thing now. It's just not really competing with Call of Duty. They're doing much bigger emphasis on bigger battles, So, and Sean Murray's going to come out and he's going to show this like 5-minute trailer of Light No Fire and explain what the game is and what we're going to be doing, and then he's going to say, and you can play it right now. Boom.
No way.
Yeah, no way. But I mean, that's a prediction.
Yeah,
that's more of a wish. Now, Embark has. I think I said this last week, but there was an executable or something that popped up on Steam, and somebody grabbed it, and in it they found some messaging or something, and they decoded it. This is like some Bungie shit, and they found a countdown, and the countdown is to June 6th. So we're getting something from Arc Raiders on June 6th. Nobody knows what it is. Everybody's saying, they're going to do Shadow Drop it. I doubt that. They just did a server test just a couple of weeks ago. I don't think they're really going to drop this thing after a server test. But it could be an open beta. It could be a chance for everybody to play it over the weekend, which would be fantastic. Nobody would even watch any of the videos or trailers. Everybody playing Arc Raiders. But this game is fun as shit. You got to try it out. Even if you don't like extraction shooters, which I don't. I have a lot of fun with it. The setting and the environment and the weapons, and it's all just crazy sci-fi goofy fun. So we will get something from then. We just don't know what it is. Yeah, as far as like Halo and Halo Studios, I really don't think that they're going to announce anything. There's been rumors that Halo Master Chief Collection is going to PS5. People, I don't think that that's going to happen. They have really, they stopped pretty much everything on Master Chief Collection. They've moved on from it. Their work is done. They've said that they're not going to do anything else. The team that works on that is now working on, of course, the new Halo. So the chances of that, I think, are very, very slim. They did say there will be a Halo Infinite announcement later in the year at the Halo tournament. Whenever that is. And I'm pretty sure we could probably guess that it's Halo Infinite is going to PS5, or at least the multiplayer. I don't know if they really want to introduce new players to Halo Infinite. As far as the story, you'll be really lost. But as far as the multiplayer, free to play multiplayer on PS5, totally do that. I think that's very feasible. And also, I will say that, do you guys think we will see anything about Perfect Dark? Which I do believe was supposed to be out by now.
Yeah, I hope they'll show a trailer of it at least.
Yeah.
Because they did show something before. I hope they show something. And it's be like, releasing next year.
Has the world forgotten about that game at this point? Are we ever going to see anything?
Well,
like I don't see. Yeah.
My prediction is the same as I had before. You're not going to see anything about this studio or the game because sometime this year it's going to get canceled and the studio will be closed. I don't want that to happen. I'm not saying that's going to happen because I don't like what they're doing with Perfect Dark or anything like that. It's just a feeling, man. It's just a gut feeling. I've been following games for probably longer than you. And it's just a gut feeling. That trailer that they had last looked really good. It looked a lot like those James Bond games we were just talking about earlier.
Exactly, yeah. It did
laser watches and like heat vision and shit.
Yeah, like Perfect Dark as well was the same time as James Bond, so it probably took a lot of inspiration from it.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. I think they could do a good job with it. But the studio itself has had, as soon as it was open, it was in complete turmoil. They hired a lot of talent that just left, just one after the other, and left big gaping holes. And apparently, supposedly, there was two teams that were, one was like, hey, Perfect Dark needs to be this, and the other was Perfect Dark needs to be this, and they clashed constantly and could get anything done. So hopefully I'm going to be surprised, but I really think that they're going to introduce a couple of like semi-big IPs, something new from some of these other studios. Clockwork from In Exile. We haven't heard or seen anything from that in 2 years now, I think. I think that could be something that might come out this fall. So and they're going to show something of that. So that's my predictions, and we'll see how close we get when this thing comes out.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun.
If it's not like leaked like 2 days before the entire showcase.
Like, it usually does. That's why I like to do it like a week in advance. So we look like, hey, those guys on Graybeard Gaming, man, I said that first. As far as doing predictions, I'm not saying I'm like right all the time, but I'm usually close on a lot of them. And this one seems really hard because as I'm like the dude looking at the screen with the like green hieroglyphics dripping down, it's like viewing the Matrix from the outside. I can get a good vibe about what Sony and Microsoft are doing, right? But this, like last year, it's been really hard because like Sony doesn't know what the hell they're doing. They just went through a big, turnover of executives, and they're canceling games left and right. And you don't remake Killzone, make Fair Games and Concord, and what I can't figure out what the fuck they're doing. Like seriously, I can't grasp it. It's unknown. And Xbox is so shit. They're like supposed to be making like the most powerful console ever made, and it's coming out, sooner than you think, blah, blah. They might say they're not making another. They might just come out and go, nah, we're not going to do it. They'll look at like market projections or something, especially with this price hike, and they might just be like, we're tired of losing money on that. We're not going to make another console. They could do that. They could absolutely do that. They did.
They won't do that though. I mean, they do have a console.
You say they won't do that, but we also said they'll never put games on PS5. Or I mean, somebody did, but you know what I mean.
I mean, but that's very different as to like just exiting the console space, because I mean they could. I mean,
but you're not. You're putting games on other consoles.
Yeah, I mean they've always had turmoil. Especially after Xbox One, even in Xbox One days, Microsoft wanted to ditch Xbox. Actually, that's what happened. They wanted to ditch it so bad. Phil Spencer and his team were like, "No, let's work on this." And eventually, other things started happening, and then Game Pass happened.
Yeah, and they started making money. Yeah,
Game Pass is crucial for Microsoft because not only is it a great subscription service for them, and it's like a big selling point to any of their products at this point. I'm pretty sure Satya and all the higher ups at Microsoft have a Game Pass clause in their contracts. Basically bonuses. Like if it does well, they get bonuses.
Yeah.
So that's literally their goal, is to make Game Pass work.
Yeah, and I see what you're saying. And without the console, it kind of you're losing. Yeah. Probably 60-70% of your. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Because that's the thing. Like everybody on Game Pass is mostly on console. That's the biggest selling point of the console.
Right.
Probably the cheapest way you can get Game Pass that's not streaming.
Yeah.
No one's gonna buy. No one's gonna buy a $2,000 PC if they want a console. So. I'm not talking about PC gamers. I'm talking about just normal people.
Yeah, a PC is not for everybody. Users. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So their base is still console, and it's going to be. I don't know what happens after next generation, but it's definitely going to be the next console. Beyond that, I have no idea. But at the moment, Xbox isn't going anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't think they're going anywhere. I'm just saying that they could, the decisions that they've made recently have been kind of off kilter and just not something that I would have seen them do, you know. I've always been kind of able to see Microsoft and what they're trying to do. Like they make announcements, they make decisions. You can kind of see where they're going, you know,
like a big picture.
Yeah, you can. They're forward thinking, and they always have been, and they have the money to make mistakes, so they do it. You know, not everybody does. And you say Microsoft is like, God, that was stupid. Well, gives a shit. It's their money. You know, you gotta break some eggs. Yeah. Sony can't make those kind of decisions. You know, I mean, look at the $3.6 billion decision that they made with Bungie, and that'll never pay off. That's obvious. That's going to be a loss for them. So they can't afford that too many times. So, but my point was just that it's just weird. Like it's going to be a weird show. I think they're going to see some things that you didn't think you would, and you know,
it is a strange time to see. Definitely when Microsoft are putting more games on PS5 than Sony are. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely a weird time that we're in.
Yeah.
At the same time, as an Xbox sort of fan, I don't really care. It's like, put games on. I don't care. But I still like my console.
I mean, who gives a shit? Yeah.
It hasn't stopped me from playing my games.
Yeah.
Game Pass, releasing a game every other week. That's ridiculous. Yeah. You know, like Oblivion, Expedition 33, Doom. This game, that game. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, we're getting Space Marines next week.
Yeah, Space Marines.
It's we eating good.
Do you think there'll be like a shadow drop at the event? Because if there's any more sort of short releases, I think my brain will explode. Like too many games
from Xbox. No, I don't think from Xbox. Now that's not to say that again somebody else won't drop something, or even Sony. Sony, showing something great and shadow dropping something would do them some good right about now. But
can you imagine if Marathon just shadow dropped? Just release it now. We don't care.
Yeah,
take out his misery.
I don't think Marathons. I don't think we're going to see anything from Marathon for a while, good while, like anything. And I told you they're going to go dark, and they're not going to say do anything. You won't see anything from probably 6 months. So that's another prediction, but.
Yeah.
So okay, so we'll see. What was that, David? Did you want to add a prediction?
No, unless IGN has anything to say about Marathon.
I know, right? It's out. It's the best game ever. Thanks, Sony, for that giant check. I don't know. They do that. I know that Sony doesn't pay them to give them good reviews, but when you want to like review The Last of Us, they cannot give you a copy. Make your ass go down to Walmart and get it. So, you kind of think about stuff like that. Oh, Arc Raiders is just pedestrian, but Marathon is great. Yeah, nobody's buying that, people. So we'll see some goofy shit from them this weekend too. That's probably completely out of touch. I just want to drop in a couple of news items here. Xbox has delayed their handheld for a bit, which is probably smart because they haven't released this collab with Asus, and they want to see how the market's doing. And again, they need to be really careful with their hardware. They don't want to lose more money on that. And then Cliffhanger Games gets shuttered after Black Panther game is canceled. So this was a lot of people are upset about this and saying it's like DEI and all this kind of stuff. Just put this in perspective, right? So this is a property that's owned by Marvel, which is owned by Disney, and Disney takes 30% of whatever you make from their properties. So if somebody went in there and went, this game is not going to make us money because we're going to have to pay 30% to Disney, then that's it, man. You're done, game over. So I'm assuming that's probably what's happened. EA has just had their financials, a couple of months ago, and they're going through and they're taking action for it. They don't want to lose any money.
Well, I don't know if it's like confirmed, but I did see some of the story about this game. Apparently, the game was in pre-production for 4 years.
Oh, it was still in pre-production? Yeah, see, that's another. Yeah, that's if you can't get your game done.
So if that's the case, then it's not surprising. It's just like, we can't afford 10 years each game.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is what game developers. I know, like, you want everything in your game these days, but game developers will have to start learning how to optimize just time frames, because the amount of years it takes games to come out now is ridiculous. And if they were still in pre-production after all this time, I'm not surprised it was cancelled.
Yeah, you have to meet milestones, and those milestones has to be in this state by this time, and this and in this state by that time, and that so on and so forth. And if you don't meet them, this is how Scalebound was canceled, because Microsoft signed a deal with Platinum Games, to make Scalebound, and they took their money that they gave them and put it in another game they were making for Sony. So when they would go and, hey, we're checking on the game, which is the milestones, it wasn't meeting milestones. So in their contract that they made, it's like, look, if you don't meet these milestones, then we're done. And I think it was a thing like, well, we want our money back. And they were like, we don't have it. And Microsoft was like, we're done. We're not doing anything with you anymore. That has changed, obviously, but that was just bad business, and that's what it comes down to. Sometimes it's just bad business. It's not everybody gets emotional. Like what's her name, Carrie Patel, from the lead on Avowed, recently left Obsidian, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, it's the Obsidian's." No. The game that she was working on launched. Everything was done with it. I don't know if they're making I don't think they're making DLC, but that is usually when people leave. They don't start a new project. They end a project and then they go and work in another studio. In this case, she's going to work for Netflix Games, working on something. So so these things happen. You got to remember these are businesses. Don't get too emotional. By saying that, I'm completely hypocritical when somebody says something about Halo. I'm just like, but yeah.
It was the same thing with EA and BioWare and Anthem.
Yeah,
that's having the same problem, because when Anthem was first shown, it wasn't even gameplay. It wasn't even anything. It was a concept trailer.
Yeah,
and people thought it was a real thing. It's gonna be out soon. They didn't even make anything. The game didn't exist.
It was all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah.
So you have to have certain milestones. You have to have something concrete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's same thing happened with Halo 2 when they showed that first trailer. It was like, whoa. We just realized we can't make a whole game that looks like that. so it's not going to look like that. It's going to look a little bit worse than Halo CE, objectively. Anyway. But yeah, I mean, it happens, and we'll see what happens with some of the other properties that are Marvel. I know that we've got the Captain America game supposedly is still in production.
We still have Marvel, was it 1943?
Yeah, and that's with Black Panther and Steve Rogers. Yeah. I call him Steve because he said it's cool if I call him Steve, and. So that's pretty much it. This is going to be an interesting week. It's going to be fun. I don't know about you guys, but I don't get quite as excited about these as I used to, because, like say they do show something for E-Day. You're watching it and it's like, oh my God, it looks so badass. It looks amazing. It looks 2027. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they don't give a release date, which is even worse because you see something like, here's our new IP, and you know, Microsoft really doesn't have to get investors involved. You know what I mean? It's like they don't have to show stuff early to get people to give them money for games. I understand that other people do, like smaller people do. They have to get, you know, they have to generate some revenue to help finish the game and stuff. But, you know, stop showing stuff. Don't show us a CGI trailer of State of Decay 3 in 2018, and then here we are at 2025 going, do you think they'll show State of Decay 3? Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Was that 2018?
Huh?
Was that 2018?
I believe it was 2018.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, I didn't realize. I knew it was old.
I can look it up.
That's why we don't get excited anymore. It's because, like,
exactly. Yeah. It's like, what am I excited for?
All we see is words on a screen. Remember, it was like it's just gonna be words getting fire, and
right?
Then, like, that's it. It's like, so what? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, Sony's gonna be like, Killzone. And then that's all it says, and
yeah.
That's all you get.
Yeah. Everybody's like, "Oh my god!" And you're just like,
"Yeah." Oh, it was 4 years ago. Okay, so it was like it was 2020. Sorry.
Yeah, as I say, like
4 years is a long time.
Still,
yeah, it is a long time. It's still a long time. I mean, Bethesda announced Elder Scrolls 6. What's that?
I don't know, but I ain't getting any younger.
Yeah. Do you think they could actually tease Elder Scrolls 6 again?
No.
Not even to say when out.
No.
When it's out.
They are supposedly working on more DLC for Starcraft. For Starfield.
Yeah.
Yes,
which is pissing off everyone. Yeah, it's like, what do you like? Give it up, dude. Let it go. You know, not every game is Skyrim. Just move on to Elder Scrolls 6. Now, I had a thought though. What?
I was going to say he's trying to be the next Sean Murray.
Oh, my God. Yeah, man. Stop it. Just let it go, dude. I thought about, why don't they make Elder Scrolls 6 in like the simplest, like, blocky form, right? Like, don't even worry about making it look good. Just make the game. Make the game like you do and just make it. Then hand it off to Virtuoso and let them, like, put an Unreal layer on it. And
Unreal.
I would be perfectly fine if it looked like Oblivion. I would be okay with that.
I mean, the reason why they use a creation engine.
No. I mean, use the creation engine, but don't worry about making it look good. Hand it off to these guys and let them put a Unreal Engine 5 layer on it, like they did with Oblivion, with all the all the goods, all the visual candy. Yeah. So
they
that may get it sooner.
I know. Make them mods and sell it and whatever. That's why Creation Engine still exists.
Yeah. Well, that and most of the people that are still there, and you don't know this about Bethesda, but there are people that have been there for 20 years. You know, Todd's not the only one, but there have been people there that have worked on Daggerfall. So for them to, they don't want that. They don't want to break up the team, which is exactly what would happen if they went to Unreal. Plus, the modding community, Unreal Engine 5 is not as moddable as the Creation Engine. So I think it's smart.
That's what they're famous for at this point. Yeah. So.
Yeah, and I mean, Starfield. Look at Starfield. Starfield looks freaking awesome. I don't have a problem with it at all. Especially with a couple of mods.
Yeah, it can really look really spectacular.
Yeah.
I think DLC already announced a PS5 release.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll announce a PS5 release at the show. That's the kind
of
thing.
Like, I mean, why not?
It definitely will go to PS5.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty clear now what Xbox is doing. So
yeah.
And
somebody
they did say
what?
They did say like when Xbox has like new games, like actual new announcements, they'll like just list PlayStation 5 for PC if applicable.
Yeah.
And we're even like. That's what Sony do. They'll have their event. They'll show all these multi-platform games, but they won't say Xbox.
Well, right.
So
that's up to the third-party publisher to go, oh, it's on Xbox. Warner Brothers did a stellar job of not telling anybody that Hogwarts Legacy was on Xbox as well, and people were out there buying PS5s to play this game, not even thinking to go to their phone and go to Google and look it up. But
but Microsoft, if it comes out on PC and PS5, we'll just say that's it. We don't care.
I don't know why. Well, I mean, I do know why, but Sony. Honestly, with certain titles, I don't see any reason. Like Helldivers 2 is a perfect example that if you just want more money, like seriously, if you're trying to make more money, just put it on Xbox. I mean, why not?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a great game. It's fun. You got people. This is a game that people buy Xbox for. So I don't know. I guess they obviously don't like money. So. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. Unless you guys got anything, we'll see
much else happening.
Yeah, we'll see who's right. Fingers crossed. I hope we get everything we want
for Christmas.
Yeah.
For summer games. For SOG.
This is Game of Christmas and Summer Games.
I will. Yeah. Now, things that will make me mad. Yes, if we see nothing from Light No Fire, like seriously, like. I really want to play a badass dude on a dragon with a rabbit head. I mean, that's just
Yeah. Oh, there was another game as well. Was it Silksong?
That's also been in limbo for
that's been for ages. Right? And I know a lot of people are like, "Where is that game?"
Yeah.
So, or Ghost of Your Toy.
Well, that's coming out.
It's out in
September.
October, so October.
Yeah.
So might see something about it.
That's probably what all Sony have.
Yeah.
Sony's going to have supposedly something, but it just kills me that they don't announce like when are you going to have your state of play? Like why do you what you're not generating any. If you let people know when it is, you'd probably get more engagement. I mean, that just seems like a no-brainer, but I can't really tell what Sony's. I think if Sony shows anything, it's all going to be third-party again.
Yeah.
Because I don't really think they have anything to show outside of Ghost of Lady Samurai. So, I don't know. It's just weird. Yeah, it's really weird from them. I wish they'd kind of get their act together and make some good games again. I am getting kind of sick of The Last of Us. It's like that.
Yeah. It's like
that girl's face is on like everything. I can't go to YouTube. I can't go to Twitter. I can't go to anything without seeing her and people talking about either the game or the show. And it's just like, God dang. Anyway.
Yeah.
Problems. So, all right.
Well, the only other thing they have is Intergalactic as well.
I don't think you're going to see anything from that until it's getting closer to being ready.
Yeah.
They showed that was basically the trailer like they showed for The Last of Us 2, and then it was like 4 years later, I think they showed you the next trailer. So that game's probably going to go dark for a little while, and I don't know, but if they do drop an Arc Raiders open beta, we should play. I want to stream it.
Definitely play that.
Do it.
Yeah,
I'm down.
Or if they just magically drop the game. Oh yeah, it's a game.
That's a possibility, but like I said,
it's possible. Yeah.
Well, the test that I did, the only problem that I had was like I was playing with somebody else and they couldn't get on. The server was giving an error. Then I'm like, well, I'm on, and then like, oh, I'm in, and then I'm like, okay, let's start the game. Now I got booted, and then kind of doing this rigmarole. I mean, 5 minutes later though, we were in and playing a game, so it was not even really. I wouldn't really call it a big deal, but
I mean that kind of thing is going to happen in these type of games.
It's going to happen, especially when this game. I'm going to tell you right now, this game is going to be big. I mean, it's going to blow up. Like the people that have played it, I have not heard anybody play it and say they hated it, except for IGN, which should tell you all you need to know. But it's going to be big. And I think it's going to be a little bigger than Embark is ready for. So that's the only thing that really worries me about it is that if they do drop it, if it does shadow drop, that it's just servers are just going to get
it's ready.
Because Helldivers, they did the same thing with Helldivers too. They're like, oh, we released it. Like they're watching like the server count on the players on the server count. Like, there goes one server. There goes another server. There goes another server. How many servers we got? We just ran out of servers. The game came out 30 seconds ago and we're out of servers. I mean, that happened. They just had no idea of what, how big that game was going to be. Yeah. Great problem to have, but that's the only thing that I really worry about is like everybody's going to jump in and nobody's going to get to play. So that's what a good open beta is for. And but yeah, this would be a great summer game. That's our predictions. It's in history. It's going to go out on the internet, and we'll see who's right, who's wrong, who's going to weep. It's going to be David. And
there's no State of Decay.
What was the survival game? What is it called? Subliminal? I mean, Subnautica. I don't know.
Oh, Subnautica. Yeah.
That one may make you weep, but So okay. Tomorrow, everything will leak, and we'll know what it is. So it's no big deal.
We know exactly where we are tomorrow.
Jeez, shit. All right, we're out of here. Have a great week. We'll see you next Sunday, and not Sunday. Sorry, what's today? Monday. Next Monday, I will be streaming tomorrow night. So, and I don't know what I'm going to stream. You guys tell me what I should stream tomorrow night.
Minecraft Dungeon.
No.
No.
I don't know. We'll see. If you want to play Minecraft Dungeons, though, I will totally do that. But yeah.
Okay.
But otherwise, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go eat some dinner, and we'll see you then.
All right.
See who's right.
See you guys.